There's a side of me you haven't seen, a side I've kept buried deep beneath the surface, locked away where no one can reach. But don't be mistaken. Just because you can't see it doesn't mean it isn't there. The monster in me is real. It's been forged in the fires of my struggles, my pain, my relentless drive. And if you push me too far, you'll regret waking it up. Don't test the monster in me. You think you know me. You think you've seen the limits of my strength, my will, my resolve. But what you've seen is merely the surface. It's the calm before the storm, the patience I've learned through years of adversity. But deep down, beneath every ounce of calm, there is a tempest brewing. I have tamed that storm, learned to quiet the thunder, to restrain the lightning. But make no mistake, it is there. And it grows with every challenge I face, every test of my patience, every moment I must hold back the fire burning inside. People often mistake kindness for weakness. They see someone who chooses peace, and they think that person cannot fight. They see someone who smiles, and they assume that person has never struggled. But let me make one thing very clear. Restraint is not weakness. Silence is not surrender. It takes a different kind of strength to hold back the chaos that roars inside, to keep the monster in chains when all it wants is to break free. That kind of power is not easily seen. It's not loud, not attention-seeking. It's a quiet force, a controlled power that withstands wave after wave of adversity without breaking. It's the will to remain composed when everything around me is falling apart. But don't confuse my self-control with the absence of fury. That monster inside of me, the one I keep locked away, it's real. It's fierce. It's not some wild, mindless rage. It's far more dangerous than that. It's sharp, calculated, born from every setback, every wound, every betrayal I've endured. It's been sharpened over time, made stronger by each hardship I've faced. When you've walked through fire, you don't emerge unscathed. You come out changed, hardened, and tempered by the flames. That's what the monster in me is, the product of every battle I've fought, every challenge I've overcome, every scar that tells the story of my survival. You see, the monster in me is not just some angry creature. It's a manifestation of my strength, of the resilience I've cultivated through years of struggle. It is not something that lashes out without reason. It is not about violence for violence's sake. No, the monster in me is much more deliberate. It emerges only when it has to, only when the situation demands it. It is the part of me that refuses to back down, that refuses to let go when something matters. It is a protector of my soul, a guardian of my dignity, my values, and my life. It is the part of me that fights when there is no other option, when survival itself is on the line. And that is why I warn you, do not test the monster in me. You may think you know me, but you have only seen what I allow you to see. You've seen the person who chooses peace, the one who smiles through adversity, the one who remains calm even when the world around me is full of chaos. But there is a line, and when that line is crossed, when you push me too far, you will awaken a side of me that you never imagined existed. You will see the strength I've kept hidden, the fire I've contained for so long. And once the monster is awake, there is no turning back. The world often sees strength in a narrow way. It looks for loud displays of power, for acts of domination, for people who take what they want with force. But real strength, true strength, is not always loud. It doesn't always need to make a scene. Sometimes, strength is found in the quiet resolve to keep moving forward when everything in life is trying to pull you back. Sometimes, strength is found in the moments where you choose not to fight, where you choose to walk away, not because you can't fight, but because you understand that there is a better way. Strength is restraint. Strength is knowing your own power and choosing when and where to use it. But don't take that to mean that my power isn't there. The monster in me may be quiet, it may be contained, but it is very real. It's a part of me as much as the calmness, the patience, the peace you might have come to know. But the difference is this: I choose when to unleash it. I choose when to let that side of me out. It is not something that controls me. It is something I control. But even controlled, it is always there, waiting just beneath the surface, simmering like molten lava under the ground, ready to erupt when the pressure becomes too great. And the thing is, the more you push me, the more you disrespect me, the more you test my limits, the closer you come to waking that monster. It's not something that comes out lightly. It's not something that wakes with a small provocation. No, it takes a lot to reach that point. It takes repeated disrespect, constant challenging, a continual testing of my patience. But when it comes to that, when the line is crossed, the monster awakens. And that is when everything changes. When you face the monster in me, you're not just facing my anger, you're facing everything I've ever been through. You're facing the weight of all my struggles, all my pain, all my hardship. You're facing someone who has been to the edge and back, who has fought through storms and survived. You're facing someone who has been burned, but has risen from the ashes, stronger than before. And when that monster is awake, it does not act out of impulse or emotion alone. It acts with purpose. It acts with precision. It is not reckless. It is unstoppable. In that moment, everything you thought you knew about me will seem like a distant memory. You'll realize that the person standing before you is not the one you've underestimated, not the one you thought would always smile and walk away. No, this person is something different entirely. This person is fierce, unyielding, and ready to fight for what matters most. And when that happens, you will realize that you've made a mistake. You'll realize that testing the monster in me was never a good idea. The thing about the monster is that it doesn't just come out for anyone or anything. It's not about small slights or minor frustrations. It's about something deeper. It comes out when my core is threatened, when my integrity, my honor, my very sense of self is challenged. It comes out when I've been pushed to my absolute limit, when there is no room left for patience, when my boundaries have been crossed one too many times. I don't want the monster to come out. I don't revel in its power. I don't seek to unleash it on the world. I've worked hard to keep it contained, to live with it, to learn how to control it. But I am not afraid of it. I am not ashamed of it. In fact, I've come to realize that the monster in me is just as much a part of me as anything else. It is a part of my strength, a part of my survival instinct. It is the fire that has kept me going through the darkest times, the force that has pushed me forward when I had nothing left to give. The monster in me is not something to be feared by those who respect me. It is not something that seeks to harm those who treat me with kindness, with fairness, with decency. But it is something that will protect me when I am wronged, when I am pushed too far, when I am cornered with no way out. It is a force of survival, of resilience, of strength in the face of adversity. We all have that side to us, don't we? That part of us that we keep hidden, that we don't show to the world unless we have to. We all have a breaking point. We all have a limit. And when we reach that limit, when we've been pushed too far, the monster inside of us wakes up. For some, it comes out as anger. For others, it comes out as determination, as an unrelenting force that refuses to be stopped. For me, it is both. It is anger, yes, but it is also power. It is the strength to fight for what I believe in, the courage to stand up for myself when I've been pushed to the edge. So don't test the monster in me. Don't push me to that point where I have no choice but to let it out. Because once it's out, there's no going back. Once it's awake, you will see a side of me that you didn't even know existed. A side that will make you regret ever crossing that line. But here's the thing, you never have to meet that side of me. You never have to experience the full force of what lies beneath the surface. All it takes is respect. All it takes is understanding, kindness, a recognition that I too have limits. Treat me fairly, and I will give you the same in return. Treat me with kindness, and I will be your strongest ally. But disrespect me, push me too far, and you will awaken something in me that cannot be contained. The monster in me is not something I am ashamed of. It is a part of who I am, a product of my journey, of the battles I've fought, of the pain I've endured. It is a testament to my strength, to my will, to survive, to my ability to rise above every challenge I've faced. But it is not something to be taken lightly. It is not something you want to provoke. So take this as a warning, not a threat. Don't test the monster in me. Don't push me to the point where I have no choice but to unleash it. Because once it's awake, you'll wish you never had. The calm you once knew will be gone. The patience you once took for granted will disappear. And in its place, you will find a force that is unyielding, unstoppable, and ready to fight for everything that matters most.